Another 3 points for Set Piece FC against Chelsea. What a game that was though. Unbelievable game of football. Chelsea really did run them right until the end. Even with 10 men, Chelsea actually performed incredibly well. But with 11 men, they were absolutely brilliant, I thought. This game was not over at any point. Chelsea really did make it difficult for themselves. They keep getting red cards. Neto with another red card. The first yellow card was for dissent. The second one for taking down Martinelli. I don't know why Chelsea keep doing it to themselves. They make it so difficult to win games of football when you've got 10 men for half of the game or even a third of the game. So many times it has cost them, and I don't get why they need to do it. I don't think it's necessary. The dissent ones, for example, there's been a couple of them just in this game for dissent. You know you're going to get a yellow for it. What's the point in doing it? I don't get it, but something needs to change for Chelsea because that yellow card from Neto, or the red card that it resulted in, just killed the game a little bit. I mean, Chelsea towards the end did still kind of push forward and still have a bit of impetus in them, but it does kill the game for a little bit of time, and Chelsea need to sort that out. They really do. Another thing they need to sort out is their goalkeeper position. Rob Sanchez, man, what is this goalkeeper? The amount of times in the first half that he had the ball at his feet and just decided to make the most dumb, stupid decision. It's like it's like his brain just goes missing, just goes elsewhere. As soon as the ball arrives at his feet, he just has no logic whatsoever. Just puts his teammates in the most terrible positions. It's not good. Because he's had actually a really good season up to this point, and he's just gone and undone all that. And I think a lot of people were saying, I mean, I saw earlier in the week, somebody said that they'd take Bob Sanchez over Raya. That looks like a dreadful take now. It looked like a dreadful take at the time, but it looks like a terrible take now. You knew it was coming as well, and that's the problem with him. You know that he's got some dumb stuff in him, so you can never really consider him as a really good goalkeeper, even though he had 6 months or even a bit longer of fantastic performances. You can't ever consider him a good enough goalkeeper. In the summer, he did just enough so that Chelsea didn't go out and buy a goalkeeper. They should have gone out and got Donnarumma instead of Man City, but he did just enough in that Club World Cup for people, or the manager at least, to think, okay, yeah, we can go with you for this season. This summer, Chelsea need to address it. They need to get a new goalkeeper because he is not good enough at all. At the other end, though, David Raya, what a goalkeeper he is. Unbelievable goalkeeper. So many times this season as well, not in this game necessarily, but in a lot of games when he's rarely called upon, he doesn't have much to do in a lot of games, and then he'll still pull out a wonder save at the end or midway through the game, and he's barely had to do anything else in that game. Whereas today he was busy. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't perfect, and we'll go through that because he definitely wasn't perfect. But some of the saves that he pulled off, even at the end when João Pedro was offside, those 2 saves, unbelievable. The save from the corner, he had a fantastic game, and he is just a top goalkeeper. But one point where I thought he wasn't so good, or it wasn't necessarily his fault really, I do think Chelsea should have had at least one penalty in this game. At least one. The one where the corner comes in and David Raya essentially punches João Pedro in the head. I mean, I don't know how that wasn't given. I don't know what VAR is there for if it's not going to change decisions like that. Admittedly, the ref probably couldn't see what had actually happened. The ref probably thought that David Raya did punch the ball, but actually João Pedro has headed the ball and then David Raya has punched him. And like I say, I don't get what VAR is there for if it's not to sort out decisions like that. And arguably Chelsea should have had another penalty right before their Chelsea's goal. I think that could have been a penalty for Declan Rice's handball. It would have maybe been a soft one. It was probably a bit 50-50. But we've seen them give them. And I don't even understand what the handball rule is now. It changes so much. What even is the rule? I'm watching it and thinking, I don't actually know if that's a penalty because the rule just changes. Maybe the rule doesn't change, but the refs apply it differently, or VAR applies it differently. Who knows these days? Because I'm watching that and not even knowing whether that should be a penalty or not. But it really was a day for Set Piece FC, a massive day for Set Piece FC. But I'm sitting there watching this as a neutral, thinking, I cannot wait for the summer where we hear corner for England, we see Declan Rice or Reece James walking up to take it, and you see Harry Maguire trotting up from centre-back, ready to put his massive head on the end of an inch-perfect delivery. I cannot wait. As a neutral fan, when I'm seeing these deliveries going in and causing so many issues for the best defences, I mean, Arsenal are the best defence at set pieces, or just in general, to be honest. And Reece James's deliveries were causing so many problems for them. It really does bode well for us in the World Cup. And that's why Harry Maguire, for me, has got to be on the plane. I mean, I'm digressing here, but that is why, for me, he has to be on the plane, because that is going to be such a dangerous aspect of our game in the summer. But Arsenal pick up more points, necessary points. And both title teams were run close this weekend. Man City, Leeds actually gave them a good game. Leeds are looking like a good football team right now. They are really looking like a good football team. Cannot see them going down at all. I think the relegation battle as such is between Spurs, Forest, West Ham. And I'm going to do a video on that tomorrow, because I haven't done a West Ham review video for the game, and I'll do that tomorrow. But I can't see Leeds going down. Leeds are just good. They are just good. And I do think that Dominic Calvert-Lewin should be on the plane as well. I mean, I've mentioned this before. I think we take him over someone like Watkins. It makes too much sense. But Man City and Arsenal both run close by very different teams, of course. If you're Arsenal, you take this before the weekend. If you say, okay, Man City and us will get through with the same amount of points this weekend, whatever amount of points that is, then they'd have taken it, because Chelsea is objectively the harder fixture. Although Leeds did put on a good performance against Man City, objectively that is just the harder fixture. But Arsenal are going to have to start creating some more stuff from open play. They really are. Because yes, these set pieces are kind of carrying them, but they need more threat from open play. Gyokeres actually did have a few opportunities where he's got the ball, he's one-on-one with Chalobah, and just makes a mess of it. An absolute mess of it. It looks so clunky. It's really not ideal. If you've got someone, I think even if you've got João Pedro in that situation, it looks so much more dangerous than Gyokeres there. Or even Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz isn't quick or tricky or anything. Jesus, he is more quick and tricky. But Gyokeres just doesn't look scary in those situations. You're not there watching the game and he goes through one-on-one thinking, oh, okay, this could be something here. You kind of know that he's going to go through and not do a lot with it, which is not what you want. I can't imagine what Arsenal fans think when they're watching that as well. You've not even got confidence. If we think back to even other strikers right now, like if you think Haaland is through one-on-one with a defender, then you're thinking he's going to do something here. This is probably going to lead to a goal. There's players like Ekitike where you're thinking this could lead to a goal. Players from the past, like a Suarez and Aguero, where you're thinking, okay, this could lead to something. With Gyokeres, you really aren't thinking that anything's going to happen. You're just not. It's not good. And like I say, Havertz, Jesus, they are both better in those situations. And in, to be honest, any situation. Something needs to change, because Saka's doing what he can creatively. I didn't think Eze had a good game at all today. I really didn't think he had a good game. Every time he got the ball, his touch was heavy or he just lost it straight away. Martinelli looked a bit brighter when he came on than he has previously. Trossard was rubbish, I thought. He always is. But I did think that Martinelli looked a little bit bright. He actually got past his man. I mean, it's one of the better right-backs as well in Reece James. But when he got the ball, he actually did get past him a few times. And obviously that's how Neto got sent off. So I think if we see more of that from Martinelli, then this Arsenal team will look better from open play. But they need to do something, because they cannot be relying on these set pieces anymore. But there's no change at the top of the table. 5 points in it, Man City with a game in hand. But Arsenal need to sort themselves out, because that is not a big enough gap. It really isn't. But that's all for this one. Like I say, I'll be doing a West Ham / relegation review video tomorrow. So make sure you hit like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you check that one out and leave any comments below. And I'll see you in the next one.